Can you start with the injury situation, please? Any updates?
No, I think everybody's okay. We're going. Yesterday was day off, so today I'm going to see how the people comes.
You seemed quite disappointed with the performance of some of your players after the game against Feyenoord on Tuesday night. How do you go about making sure that no element of complacency creeps in among some of your players?
No, that is not true. I'm not disappointed. So sometimes I have to explain, I have to tell them what we see about the performance. And I said many times, with me, complacency, that is not going to happen.
What about Huddersfield? Because we saw Manchester United go there a few weeks back and lose. How impressed have you been by the job that David Wagner has done getting his side together?
Well, we played last season against them, so we were not able to win there in FA and FA Cup, and we realized how complicated it is play there away. What my colleague Wagner has done is speaks for itself. So everything was the Championship or the Premier League, and after made what they have done, of course the result against United is a good signal but not just against United, not just against them. So I think at home they made a good result. In the beginning away as well. So well organized. When they decide to make high pressing, they are so intense. When they decide to defend a little bit low, deep, they are so well organized, quality with noise, and they have arguments. So, like every game away in Premier League will be tough.
Just finally from me, we saw Oumar Niasse become the first Premier League player to get a retrospective ban for alleged simulation or diving the other day. What are your thoughts on the process? Do you think this is a good thing for the Premier League or a bad thing?
Well, we have to accept the rules, so it's what it is. Always the football is a quick game, a fast game, and the actions the referees have to decide for a second, and sometimes always it's so complicated. Sometimes it helps you, sometimes not. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, because there will be always comparison about the decision for that club, the decision for the other one, always a little bit like this. Okay, when they decide from the beginning of the season, they're going to ban this kind of actions. We knew that, so that's what it is. That's why I'm so happy that the Reich against Arsenal is not banned.
Pep, good afternoon. How dangerous are a team like Huddersfield and teams like them in the Premier League? Do you sense that a lot of teams now are raising their game a little bit because it is you and it is Manchester City they're playing?
But I think all the teams want to win their own games. So Huddersfield is complicated, we know that, because we have experience of that. It's not the first time we go there. Last season we were there, so we know exactly what is going to happen. Big atmosphere, big fans, supports a lot. But it's the same when we go to Brighton the first game. You know, the people say, no, Brighton, easy, it's normal. And now after we see how difficult it is. So every game in Premier League, home away, is complicated.
A third of the season gone this weekend. You could be on 37 points if you win. How satisfied are you with the season? Any particular aspects that really make you happy?
So again, we can talk about the points. Okay, I'm happy. So, but I'm not thinking tomorrow. Focus on tomorrow. Of course, it's 3 points we have to play, but it's not the point. It's what we have to do. What we have done good in the last recent games, and what we have to improve, and that is what it is. So focus what we have to do, and after the result will be a consequence on that.
Which aspect of the season really pleases you though so far?
No complaints. No complaints at all. Just a little bit injured in terms of Mendy. And before Vincent and John Stone, sometimes we cannot control that. But in terms of many things, I'm pleased knowing we can do better. That is only we can do.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Pep, if you'd have been asked at the start of the season who you'd think was leading the goal-scoring charts at this point. Would you have been surprised that it's Raheem Sterling?
Yeah. But
Why?
it's good. But in the other terms, because Sergio don't play all the games and Gabriel don't play all the games, so normally both are better than but it's good. It's good how important it is for the players know they win the games because they scored that goal. Like for example, last game against Feyenoord. So that's good. That's good. So
and it's important for everybody to chip in with those goals. Anyway, will that be the key to your success this season?
we have a lot of players who have the ability to score a goal, not just for the striker. Yeah, of course, so important. We cannot win the title just scoring one player, two players. When the set pieces score goals, our attacking midfielders, especially Kevin, score a lot of goals. The strikers, wingers score goals. Nico scored 2 or 3 or 4 goals, so that is so important.
And just a final point, there's a lot of excitement amongst City supporters about Phil Foden. He's a local kid. He's made his debut now. How much of a part do you think he can play now going forward?
I don't know. They know that like all the mates. So we are so pleased that it's so important for the clubs has 1 or 2 or 3 as much as possible local players or players grew up from the academy, and when him and the family as City fans support it, it's so important, and because they have a plus. So, but when we are going to take the decision to play or not to play, depends on them, on his qualities, on his development, and a lot of things.
Hi, Pep. Just wondering, how did Vincent come through his return to action against Leicester? Because obviously he didn't play against Feyenoord, and is he fine for this week?
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready to play tomorrow. Yeah.
When Manchester United lost at Huddersfield a month ago, Jose said they had the wrong attitude, that they didn't match Huddersfield in terms of desire and attitude. How do you make sure your players don't do the same thing, don't go in there with the wrong attitude?
We will try. We will try to play in the best way and best attitude, but we will try. But all the managers, we try to do that, to the warnings, to say, be careful, it doesn't matter top teams. Sometimes with big names in the big clubs, sometimes you think it's easier, but I think we know exactly what is Huddersfield. We were there a month ago, and I think that's helped us to be what happened, but at the end is the game. Sometimes we have to accept sometimes the opponent is better, and when you play, for example, against Napoli, and Napoli play amazing 30 minutes, you say, okay, it's what acted to. They play better, so you have to accept, shake hands. So you are better than us in that period of the game. So we cannot deny, or we cannot forget never. So we play against another ones, and the other ones are good as well.
Can I just ask briefly as well about Ederson? I think the stats are out that he's got the best pass completion rate of all the keepers in the Premier League, and also the most short passes as well. Obviously, you like to play out from the back in that respect. But how impressed have you been with the way he has adapted to England and his
a lot.
performance level?
A lot, yeah. So, but not just in England, because of course, but when you buy one player, especially for another country, come here, you always the first moments you expect how we're going to react, or settle the family, the house, and the kids to school, and it's a process. Sometimes it's not easy for some players, but he settled quite good, and he's so calm. So in the bad moments, in the good moments, always the same behavior, and give us a lot of confidence.
Couple more for the embargo, guys, please.
Just back on Raheem, Pep. He's got 11 now, which I think is a personal best for him. Quite logically, if he carries on like this, he's going to get maybe 20, 25 goals. You've had Ribéry and Robin at Bayern, you have Pedro. Is he up at that sort of level now as a goal-scoring wide player?
So I don't know.
What's he done to improve?
Yeah, I think he has not put a lot of pressure to how many scores I have to score. So now in the moment is the best moment in his career. Equal best. So we are in November, so we have a lot of time to. But I think he has not think too much about how many. So the mentality to keep going and scoring goals and produce. In the first half, he made against Feyenoord 2 or 3 actions, 1 against 1, and make an assist for Bernardo, another chipping for another one. So he has to just focus and play good and try to play better. And when that's happened and you are in good confidence, the goals are coming. And at the end of the season, we're going to celebrate how many goals. And as much goals will be better because next season we'll have that point, that record to break. And that's good. That's good. The record is good to break it because the year later you have another, target to do it. And that's good.
Hi, Pep. In terms of the stuff you say, City still needs to improve. You say the last pass and finishing those kind of opportunities on the break. Is that harder to coach than getting the players in the right position to score the goal? Those individual actions, are they harder to work on in training?
I think always we have. I believe that all the players can improve for all aspects. So if you believe I cannot improve that, why we're here? But we cannot forget. I said many times to the players, their action is the most difficult part of the game. So to score goals is the most difficult part of the game, and to take a right decision. But always you can improve. You see what happened when you miss or you are not perfect to do this kind of actions and improve. Of course, we can work on that and improve in the future. Of course, with Leroy, with Raj, with this kind of players, we can improve.
Do you want that?
Hi, Pep.
Hi.
During your whole career, you have given opportunities in the first team for the first time for more than 30 players, young players, and Phil Foden, if I'm not wrong, was the number 31. And how do you feel when you give the first opportunity for a young boy, a young talent, and how do you?
But what I have to say is that if we give the opportunity to young players because they deserve it, that is the most important thing. They deserve it because they are good, not because for my statistics more. Second point, so one young player is settled or is, you can see, we held them when they play regularly. So we play one game or two games and after disappear, that is nothing. That is nothing. So most of maybe 30 players. But maybe you can help him for a short time and go to another club and they settle perfect and they make a long career. That's happened as well. So, but all the managers around the world, when they have a good academies, always they look at them how they are, and after that, it depends of many reasons. But of course, we are pleased because all the players, the big important players in the big important teams, always they want it is the first time. So it's the same what happened with Phil or with Brahim last game. Happened all the players around the world. So that it depends, of course, in our confidence and their confidence and the rest. It always depends of them. The people say, no, it depends on the managers. No. It depends on the players, the quality and how they live the profession and how good they are. It's simple like that.
Pep, given the success that City are having playing the way they're playing this season, so attacking, do you think other teams in this country will try to emulate that? Or do you think it will be more a case of teams just trying to stop City? And how is the best way to approach playing your City team, do you think?
No. So all the managers do what they believe. Copy-paste doesn't work in football. No. So every manager always is they do what they believe. For example, I see many things from my colleagues, so I like a lot what they do. When I believe, I try to a little bit imitate it, but at the end, I do what I believe, and the opponent, my colleagues as well. So that is what I think.
Okay.
Did you learn anything from the players that came in that played on Tuesday that haven't had much game time this season? Was there anything you could take from their performances?
The Feyenoord? Yeah, I learned a lot of them. And most of them I'm very pleased how they played. Yeah.
Are there any specific...
And I learned when we didn't play the first half, the reason why we didn't well, and the reason why. So that is so important. It happened now, especially when you won the game, and especially you were already qualified. So when you make 16 games in a row, 60 games in a row, winning, you have to leave this kind of situation sometimes. You can say, oh guys, be careful, it's so complicated, but they have to leave, sometimes play bad, make a bad game to realize, oh, that is complicated to do that. So it happened in the first half, and that's why maybe, I don't know, for tomorrow, for the future will be good. Will be so good what happened in the first half against Feyenoord.
Were there any specific players that you think
No, it's involved. No, it's involved in 11. It's about the tension. It's not about the good pass or bad pass or good action. It's about what we spoke about, what we have done a long time, and sometimes we don't do that. And we can make one guy didn't realize, or maybe two, but cannot happen 10 players didn't realize what you have to do. And that's because sometimes we are not completely there. And in that level, we have to be there. I understand we are already qualified, and okay, it's a Feyenoord, 0 points like this, but we have the way we played. Maybe we cannot win the game, and after you have to go to Shakhtar to try to win, to finish first in the table. So football, I know, so it's complicated. Being every 3 days, be ready, but that is the point. If you want to become something, that is the point. Everybody can play amazingly during a long time, but you want to become a good team. You have to be every single 3 days. You have to do what you have to do, and that's why it's so complicated to play in a big teams.